Ladies and gentlemen, cryptocurrency doing its thing once again with a lot of cryptocurrencies going up. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the 10x. Yes, we made 10x profits over some of our cryptocurrencies over just the past month alone. However, at the end of the tunnel, there's always a deep correction. So I'm going to be talking about in this video my thoughts on the current market, my strategy moving forward, as well as a couple other things and trends that you should probably be looking at in today's video. So if you enjoy that kind of content, as always, like and subscribe, and let's get into it. First thing I want to talk about is where Bitcoin is in the super cycle. We're at $38,000, looking like we're going to 39K, maybe even 40K. My humble opinion is I do think we're going to see 40,000 at this point. Yeah, I think 42K is absolutely in the books for Bitcoin and price predictions and things to go along, but I'm not your short-term price prediction guy. I'm simply a guy that knows a lot about crypto games. In fact, we were featured over at Digital Asset News as well as Altcoin Daily, but I wanted to shout out Digital Asset News and Rob because in this AMA-ish thing we did, we went ahead and chatted about my psychology on the markets and how, I've gone ahead and decided for myself that I'm going to go ahead and grab nodes. For a lot of people, that was kind of weird because a lot of different cryptocurrency projects that had nodes didn't perform the best. Some did phenomenal. I mean, Helium, maybe not the same as a traditional node, but they had a little miner, and miners were kind of like nodes in a way, just a physical version instead of a digital version. People made a lot of money off of nodes, quote unquote, last cycle and validator nodes through Cosmos SDK, etc. So why nodes now? The big answer to that is it's my personal strategy. I feel like nodes are going to become a huge narrative. I think they're severely undervalued. And if I can roll over some profits into something that will probably end up failing, but has a likelihood of generating me passive income, then I'm absolutely going to take it. Plays like Myria, for example, where I bought 5 figures worth of nodes into Myria. And my return on this investment, if I had bought Myria back at launch through its token, which was somewhere around 8 cents, when it went ahead and actually came out, if I had put the same amount of money as if, I'd grabbed this node and done its thing. To be completely honest with you, I think at this point, I pretty much would have had a similar amount of tokens. Obviously, it's been quite some time, and the amount of, rewards that you're getting off of Myria right now are different. But had I just gone ahead and bought the token at the 8 cent mark, I'd pretty much have the same thing going on right now, except now I have nodes, and these nodes are going to make me a heck of a lot of money during this bull cycle. Versus, though, this is the thing that you can actually miss out on. This is the con of it all. If I'd gone ahead and grabbed these nodes over maybe at this price point, a couple months in, and then, we're at this price point now, I'd feel terrible because I could have had a 10x play. So there's your TLDR of whether or not something's a good idea or not. Most of the time, you want to go ahead and grab the tokens first into the nodes. And I will be explaining a couple cryptocurrencies that are coming up for the crypto gaming niche specifically that I think have a lot of promise. But, there's no denying it. Crypto gaming is still leading the markets. Beam today is up 18%. A lot of people keep commenting in my comment section about Merit Circle, that video I made with Merit Circle and Beam. I get it. I know about the migration. Beam is a top play in my cryptocurrency portfolio because guess what? Merit Circle's on there. It's pretty much Beam. Immutable X is up there. And overall, for the rest of the space, it's just such a low market cap that even though Big Time is up 30%, which congratulations to people holding Big Time, WAGMI, which y'all know I do have a portfolio position in, is at the 2983s. And is doing a clear uptrend. We're running on all cryptocurrencies. The cylinders are flowing, and they're flowing with a lot of juice. And so that's going to be this part of this video. We're going to go ahead and do a big disclosure time for Cryptonomy, which is the sponsor for this video. We got to run the channel somehow, and they've gone ahead and reached out. I think that this is a project that I'm willing to put my brand on. This is a project which has gone ahead and offered people the opportunity to get some pretty good APR. And it's a pretty ingenious thing that they go ahead and do. In fact, they, on Cryptonomy, if you go onto your interest account when you make your account, they're giving welcome goodies, $10,000 in potential rewards. You know, the shebang that people normally give to incentivize people to register on their centralized exchanges. Cryptonomy goes ahead and does. But when you go onto Cryptonomy, they have an interest account. They've got these fixed, flexible rates that you can go ahead and hop on with up to 150% APY. There is profit sharing there, 50-50. There's also a launch pool with a $70 million fund that they have, which goes ahead and grabs these cryptocurrencies very early on. Obviously, there's high risk. Some of these cryptocurrencies do really poorly. Some of these cryptocurrencies do very well, but that's kind of the game. You don't want to get into one cryptocurrency and put all your eggs in one basket, because the likelihood is you're going to fail. But if you get into these over time, well, the likelihood of you succeeding is going to be significantly higher, especially getting in on the ground floor. We're going to be talking about more launch pads especially. But depositing on this thing is, it's like extremely easy. You just put the amount of cryptocurrency that you want to go ahead and have, put the interest rate that you also want to have, 6%, 12 months, whatever it is, agree to the terms of conditions, and then literally just click the button, create, and you are done. So it's very easy stuff to hop onto Cryptonomy. They are backed by the Cryptonomy Foundation, which makes sense, right? $3.7 billion, regulated in the United Kingdom, 5 years on the market, and more. So thank you, Cryptonomy, for supporting us, because you're a bomb project. Link in the description if you'd like to register onto Cryptonomy as well. And let's get back into the video. So next launchpad I want to talk about is Seedify, which recently actually announced their incubation of Bloodloop game. It's a free-to-play 5v5 game. I've actually covered this game on the channel before, and these guys are bangers on the AVAX network. This game is going to have a token, which I think it was like Blood Shard or something like that. I'm not sure on the exact name of the token, but a lot of people are hyped for this thing. Obviously, Seedify is beginning to trend upward in terms of the projects that they're listing. Yesterday, they announced Storm Warfare, which I'm not going to play because it's going to demonetize this video, unfortunately, with the copyrighted music. But this game I'm also looking forward to getting into. Both games I'm actually really excited about. I think that we're getting to this point in the pump of crypto gaming where a lot of projects are beginning to see the money. And when you see the money, you want to get into it as soon as possible. So a lot of new projects are coming out, which really haven't had that exposure of a token before. They've decided now's the time to raise money. Now's the time to make this token a reality. And we're going to see a lot of complete moonshots happen. A narrative that people aren't really thinking about right now is the new token narrative. People are still thinking about the crypto gaming plays that exist right now, but the likelihood that a brand new crypto gaming project comes out and just takes over the space is quite high, to be honest. Historically speaking, new projects severely outperform older projects in the crypto space. Obviously, there are outliers. I think Immutable Axe, Gala, etc. are all going to do wonderful this cycle. Could be wrong, but I do 100% think that, new projects are going to be the outperformers, the ones that shock us. There's Inspect that is going to be coming out fairly soon, has the backing of Alex Becker. And by the way, I want to touch base on Alex Becker because of the fact that the gaming scams are back. And this is a narrative that people talk about all the time. Crypto gaming projects are amazing. They're going to do good things for society, et cetera, et cetera. But there's also going to be grifters. The grifters are here, okay? And the grifters, they use Unity assets, and they love using these assets that you could buy for a couple $100, maybe you spend $1,000 or something, and then you're done with your game. There are plenty of games out there that you'll see in crypto that have very similar assets, and that's because they're using presets. There's nothing wrong with using a preset, but if you're launching your game with those presets, there's a big problem. First off, you don't really own the assets, right? You're just kind of copying a game off and doing an asset flip. They call it Lyra asset flips. You could look it up for yourself, do your own research, please, on this topic. But overall, you want to make sure that these games are actually building out what they say they're going to be building out. And just because they raise millions of dollars doesn't mean they're going to build out their game. There's plenty of grifters in the space, just like the overall layer 1 protocols, just like regular games. There's plenty of projects on Kickstarter that have gone ahead and rugged, essentially, after saying that they're going to build out this awesome game, and they don't end up building the game out. Plenty of games that have done that. So do your own due diligence on these games. Make sure that these games are actually building out games. And another big thing for me that Alex Becker didn't really mention is the fact that these teams a lot of the time will claim that they're from Pixar or Disney or they're from Blizzard, etc., all these crazy good companies, and that they were on the project for, I don't know, making the first Call of Duty. But were they just an employee on there? Were they just an engineer? Or did they spearhead? Were they a director of Call of Duty? Those are two very different things. Were they the janitor over at Call of Duty? Were they just chilling with Activision and doing their thing, picking up the trash? Or were they actually in there making the game happen? You're playing games out there that their CEOs are boasting about all these different things that they've done. In all reality, they haven't really done much. It is what it is. Of course, there's also plenty of projects that have actually done meaningful things in the space, and there's billions of dollars in this industry. So clearly, there's a lot of talent here. But there's also to be said that when you're doing your due diligence, make sure you look up these people's names and find where exactly they did what they did. Because just because they say they work somewhere, first off, doesn't mean they actually work there. You know, they could maybe just be lying. But on top of that, their role in the company may not have been as important as they're making it out to be. So those are two big due diligence factors that I'm looking into the crypto gaming space when I'm getting in here and making sure that I catch these 10x plays. You know, Myriad 10x for us this month, and then also playable 10x for us this month, which is wonderful. I mean, I love to see 10x plays, clearly. You know, I've taken profit on both of these plays. Have I sold all my tokens? No. Have I gotten nodes? Absolutely, I've gotten nodes. And that's the important thing. Just because you sell out of a token doesn't mean that you can't get on the rest of the ecosystem. To me, the most sensible ecosystem for nodes is crypto gaming, because these crypto games, first off, they have extremely high throughput. And what that means is a heck of a lot of transactions are happening at any given time. It's important to keep in mind that there's plenty of chains out there that cannot handle what these crypto games need. So they need crypto gaming nodes to help not only secure transactions, but to help keep the network running. Crypto gaming nodes make way too much sense. Not only do they fundraise for the company, not only do they give you rewards, but they also help keep things kind of moving a little bit smoother. So I think this narrative with nodes is only going to increase in size. There are other narratives that are coming very, very soon because there's just so many tokens dropping. There are NFTs, right? PFP collections that have turned into actual gaming projects. And these gaming projects have finally gotten to the point where, you know, remember like how back in the last bull market, you would just stake for this coin with your NFT, and then eventually like maybe one day something's going to happen. Well, that's kind of what's happened. All these NFTs have kind of just been sitting there for the longest of time making the little carrot coin. And now it's actually going to happen. Carrot coins might actually become a thing. So there's a lot of great things happening in the space. You know, I'm super excited for everything in between. I'm looking into things like My Pet Hooligan. I'm pretty sure this floor price easily goes over in Ethereum. I mean, it's going to happen, guaranteed pretty much. Crypto gaming is... It's looking spicy. It's still looking like there's a heck of a lot of room to go, and I just think we're way too early to think of exiting all of our positions and getting out of the space. But of course, none of this is financial advice, just simply my thoughts and observations in the space. If you enjoy the content, like and subscribe. The support has been insane lately. Till the next time, stay classy, and that's all.